Hello everyone, my name is Salim and welcome to the Markets Breakdown Analysis for Tuesday, the 21st of November 2023. We'll be breaking down chart and show the exact zones where price will close for potential buys or close below for potential sells as well. So looking at the daily candle for Monday. Now the daily has been extremely bearish, not only breaking below the Friday daily low, but also breaking below the previous weekly low as well, as we can see. Also what's interesting here is how the daily candle tapped into this daily range that was formed from a couple of weeks ago, I would say, because we're looking on a weekly. This range that you can see on a daily here, this was this weekly candle. As we break it down, this was a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Those are the weekly, the daily candles that formed this weekly candle. And then obviously, as we can see, the following weekly candle hasn't formed the bottom wick. As we can see, this was the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And when you look back, this was the weekly candle that pushed above and hasn't formed a bottom wick either. So now to break down the chart and just a quick review on the monthly. Actually, the monthly seems to be retracing, and this is really interesting because if we look back on the left, and this is something that we've mentioned previously, this level is a rejection wick from the monthly candle formed back in November 2015, which formed a resistance. As we can see, price formed a resistance, and then obviously we've seen a huge retracement on a monthly time frame. So now it'll be interesting to see how this monthly candle will form. More than anything, what we need to do is we need to focus on how this weekly candle will play out, because if this weekly candle managed to break below this low again and close below, there is a higher probability for price to respect this rejection and for price to retest this previous weekly support. Let's say retesting 181 level. We're looking on a monthly. That means this monthly candle will be closing bearish, breaking below this monthly range on here. So now to break down the chart and going back to the daily. So the daily will be closing bearish, dropping down to the 4-hour time frame. And what we can see here is we have the most recent 4-hour support formed around 184.830. The most recent 4-hour resistance all the way up to 186.760. Dropping down to the hourly time frame and zooming in. And now what we can see, we have this new range on the hourly. So what we're going to do here is we're going to adjust this level of support to 185.330 based on this hourly support. A new level of resistance around 185.590. Drop it down to the 5-minute time frame. We can adjust the level of support to 185.280. A level of resistance, we will adjust it again based on these highs at 185.630. We're looking on a 15-minute time frame again. What we're going to do, we're going to adjust this line to 185.210 within this 15-minute support. And now to identify the no trade zone, and we're going back again to the hourly. Actually, let's have a look on the 4-hour time frame. So the first thing we can see on the 4-hour is price formed the low. Price formed the support in here in respect to this previous 4-hour support on the left. So we can see every time price tap into this level, it seems to form a support, respect, and then continue bullish. Now, if price break and close, let's say a 4-hour candle, break and close below this 4-hour support, there is a higher probability for price to, let's say, correct this whole 4-hour candle on the left. And now to identify the no trade zone, and I would say potentially what we need to do is wait for price to break and close above 185.630, above this hourly range. Potential sells could be below 185.210, below this 15-minute support on the left, and this is going to be the no trade zone. And now to look for potential buys and going back to the daily. So the first thing we can see, or the first thing we can anticipate here, is maybe a retracement for price to retest a certain level. Now, I can't really see anything on a daily because, I mean, nothing really to see on a daily apart from just a bearish candle. But when dropping down to the 4-hour time frame, we have this 4-hour resistance formed around 186.740. This is 110 pip range. Dropping down to the hourly, now we have a new hourly resistance around 186.130. Zooming in and dropping down to the 5-minute time frame, we have a 30-minute resistance lower than that hourly resistance. And then we're looking on the 50-minute time frame as well. This becomes a range. So what we're going to do here is we're going to have the first target for buys. I would say the first target for buys could potentially be 186.130, targeting this 120, targeting this hourly resistance. The second target for buys, now the second thing we did see is we've had this 4-hour resistance around 186,740. Dropping down to the hourly time frame, we have clean traffic on this recent price action up to this hourly resistance, but we still have this hourly resistance on the left. So let's have a look on the 30-minute time frame. So on the 30-minute time frame, we have a 30-minute resistance around 186,430. Looking at the 15-minute time frame as well, that's the same level of resistance. So the anticipation here is to maybe see a retest of this 4-hour resistance around 186,740. So I'd say the second target for buys could potentially be 186,740, targeting this 4-hour resistance. And now to look for potential sells and going back to the daily. So the only issue we could face here for price to continue bearish is this daily range we can see on the left, which was this weekly candle formed previously. So the first thing we can identify, actually, let's have a look at the monthly. So the first thing we can see at this level, just going to take this one off. The first thing we can see is we have this previous monthly resistance formed around 184,420. Dropping down to the weekly time frame, clean traffic on the left. Dropping down to the daily. Now the daily, that's where we get this daily support around 184,810, which is the bottom of the daily range. Dropping down to the 4-hour time frame, and now we have a 4-hour support around 184,810. Looking at the hourly time frame, that's the same level of support. Zooming in, dropping down to the 5-minute time frame, more likely will be the same on the lower time frame. So I'd say the first target for sales could potentially be 184,810, targeting the bottom of this daily support, which is also the recent 4-hour and the hourly support. The second target for sales, now let's go back to the daily again. So actually the monthly, we did identify this previous monthly resistance, which was formed back in September 2023 this year. Dropping down to the weekly, so looking at the weekly, the daily, clean traffic on the left, 4-hour time frame, we have this clean 4-hour candle. So this is where we can anticipate for price to have a good runners, even though we're having the second target. So I'd say the second target for sales could potentially be 184,360, targeting this previous monthly resistance formed back in September 2023.
Dominion Markets, your trading sanctuary.